Hey friend, welcome to my show, Poison Pleasure. I am your host, Chantel, but you can call me Missy. Over the past 12 years, I've had the pleasure of hosting parties with my company, Poise Parties. Within our parties, we do a little twerk, pole dancing, chair dancing, and then we sit down and talk a little spicy with some pleasure products. I am excited to bring that experience to all listening platforms. As we go down this self-discovery journey, we're going to talk about our mental and physical wellness, as well as our intimate and pleasure wellness. I'm excited to do this with you, and I hope you're excited to do it with me. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to DM them to Poise Parties or Poise Pleasure. Let's have some fun, and let's get started. When was the last time you got with your girls and actually just enjoyed a night where you didn't have to think about your spouse, your kids, your family, work? Well, head over to www.poisepleasure.com and schedule a party with us. Stop playing. You need a night like this where you can just let your hair down and enjoy being with your girls, laugh, talk. It's a no judgment zone. www.poisepleasure.com. Book your party today. Welcome back to another episode of Poison Pleasure. Today we are going to discuss what is an orgasm and what are the types of orgasms. Now let me just go ahead on and just tell you this. All orgasms have a side effect, and that's just feeling good. So I will tell you, an orgasm is a climax that a person may experience during sex, right? It is like a muscular contraction. It helps to relieve tension. It does increase your breathing and your heart rate. And there are different types of orgasms. And I will tell you that we do have an orgasm gap where a lot of women don't experience having an orgasm, or they can't experience having all of the types of orgasms. So we're going to get into that today. However, even if your regular technique works for you, based upon the things that I go over today, continue to do that because the goal is just to feel good. But if you don't want to die without experiencing most of the ways that you can have an orgasm, I would say just go for it and try it. And as I explain the different types of orgasms and I get into the ones that are a little bit more harder to actually achieve, I'll explain things that you can do to get yourself in a place to actually experience those orgasms. So let's first get into the different ways and types. And so y'all, there's so many different types of orgasm, and I'll just kind of go over a few. There's the clitoral, there's the G-spot. Now I do want to give you guys this note. The G-spot is not separated from the clit. The G-spot is just like the extended version of the clitoral area. The clit just sits outside, whereas the G-spot is inside. And I'll go over more of that once we get into those types of orgasms. Of course, there's vaginal, there's anal. You can get an orgasm from nipple play. Then you can have blended and multiple orgasms. Squirting is not an orgasm, but it can happen during an orgasm. But you can squirt without having an orgasm. But people like to kind of put them together, like they like to separate the clit and the G-spot. You can have one through exercise. So if you understand the breathing techniques of exercising and the movement, you can have what they call a coregasm. And that's basically pulling from your core and your pelvic floor. But it's very intense. I have not experienced that, but I've been close to it. But I think I may focus on that again. And the craziest one to me, which I can say I have experienced, which makes it crazy, not the fact that it exists, it's the fact that I have experienced it, is a sleeping orgasm. Oh my God. I hope I didn't just put myself out there and I'm the only one. But yes, I have experienced an orgasm during my sleep. So let's get into it, okay? Let's talk about all these different ways to actually have an orgasm. We'll start with the clitoral, which is the most popular one. So with this one, it's basically on the surface of the body, right? It is the clit being stimulated by fingers, by a toy, by a spouse, or the person that you're actually involved with at the time. It's maybe some type of touching happening on the clit. This can be while you're riding. You may need to actually touch it more if you're doing positions like doggy style or the spooning position. But it is the most common way to experience an orgasm. And it's actually, most women have experienced this type of orgasm and only this type of orgasm. Your vaginal orgasm, which includes your G-spot. So what happens is you can either have this alone, you can have it first, or you can have it immediately after the clit orgasm. What I will tell you is this: to have a vaginal orgasm, you have to have a sexually mature person that you're actually having intercourse with. Because what happens is, let's say you have the clitoral orgasm first, that G-spot that we like to refer to it as, it will swell a bit. And when it swells, your partner can feel that and knows how to glide across it. As they're gliding across it, that's what's going to stimulate the vaginal walls and the ejaculation of the orgasm. So as they're stimulating the walls and you're actually just going back and forth, or if you're able to even pulsate on your partner, you're adding to the stimulation, which in fact can cause a blended orgasm. Because even though it feels like it's vaginal, it can become a corgasm, like we were saying with exercises and breathing. It can be stimulated from the pelvic floor. So as your partner is gliding across there, they will be able to tell as you're pulsating if you're getting to that point to actually have a vaginal orgasm. And the one that people shy away from a lot is the anal orgasm. So in anal, now let me just say, I'm not a girl that tries every single thing. I'm not a girl that does everything. Just because I talk about intimacy does not mean that I'm a swinger. I do threesomes. It does not mean those things, okay? However, anal is not my preferred method of intercourse. But what I will say is that I have experienced an anal orgasm and it felt really, really good. And it does not necessarily take for the male parts to be in the canal for you to experience the orgasm. It can be a finger, it could be a toy. If you decide to use a toy, you cannot take that toy and put it back in the vaginal area. That means that toy is just for anal. You cannot swap it like that. Especially if you have someone using their finger, they cannot go from the anal back to the vagina area at all. So with the anal orgasm, it's still a muscle contraction. You feel it in the anal canal and it's not inside the vagina at all, but you will feel it throughout the body as the muscles contract. And like I said again, you don't have to go far to receive that orgasm. Or if you want to start light, let's say you are in the doggy style position and your partner decides to rub in that anal area. If he learns how to massage that part of your body, you can actually experience that feeling and that orgasm that way as well. But again, you have to be with someone who's mature enough to understand that. And if not, it's things that you guys will have to learn, which can be a really fun process, just experiencing new ways to please one another. Now, with your combo and your blended orgasms, that is when you're having like an explosive orgasm. It's coming from vaginal and the clit at the same time. So that can feel amazing. Now, I've never had the anal, vaginal, and clit at the same time, but it's not to say it won't happen. However, that is when you're having your combo orgasms. It feels really good. Now, let me just say this. You're going to have all types of feelings when this is happening. And most women stop it. They'll stop when they feel, because it feels like it's too good to be true. So as you're going through the feelings and the motion, you're too afraid to let your body go. But let your body go. It feels good. Let the combination be there. It's going to feel explosive. You're going to tremble. You're going to pulsate. You're going to need a minute to just lay there. But I'm telling you, you will be fine. But you have to relax and release your body. Let it go. Let it flow. Let all the juices flow. If you need to breathe heavy, if you need to scream, if you need to do an outburst, do it, okay? Now, those are your main types of orgasms. And what I will tell you is that because women struggle with actually speaking on their desires and their needs and getting to the place where they can experience these different types of orgasms, they need a little bit of help. And your partner may need a little bit of help of getting you there. So in order to achieve this, I would say you can add in a toy. We have a toy called Sincerely. It is so discreet. It's the cutest little toy. I use it in the car, which I've told you guys this before. You can use it during sex for doggy style, the spooning position. You can use it while you're actually giving a blowjob. You can put the toy in the palm of your hand and you can cuff it around his genitals while you're doing a blowjob. And so it just feels good. It gives him a different feeling for his orgasm. You can use it yourself during sex so that you can achieve your orgasm. But I would love for you to start exploring what you want to feel like. And if you're not able to give yourself a G-spot orgasm, there are plenty of toys that can do it. For example, there's another toy called the Womanizer OG. It's on my site. I'll tag it in the show notes. And just like the rose suctions the clit, this toy suctions the G-spot. Oh my goodness. It is. It's just amazing. If you have not experienced an orgasm outside of your clitoral area, please make it a goal to do so. Please make it a goal to experience that orgasm, because it just feels good. It makes the body feel good. It's going to feel good to you. And it's going to keep you wanting to keep experiencing sex. I mean, we're not always in the mood. We don't do sexy stuff all day. So being able to feel good and feel sexy and sensual and something to give you that level of pleasure, I mean, I can't see you having a dry sex life if that's what you're chasing, right? So I hope that this helped. I hope that you now can identify the different ways to receive pleasure in an orgasm. And I will tell you the key to all of this is getting into a situation where you feel safe. You want to experience intimacy and you want to experience the physical part, which is sex, together, right? Get in a situation where you feel safe and you can just calm your body to basically raise your blood pressure. So you want to be able to just be calm and receive and get in tune with what you want to feel. You won't regret it, and your partner definitely won't regret it. So I hope that this helped. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Please send me feedback. I enjoy the feedback. I enjoy the reviews, and I love responding to them. Thank you guys for staying supportive. I will put in the show notes all of the toys that I discussed, and I will see you on the next episode. Go enjoy at least a new orgasm this week.